Cheetah and Cheshire robbed the Justice League issue 3. Greg Rucka writing and NICOLA SCOTT on art. Yeah, obviously the team has been formed and they go to Morocco near Casablanca to sort of like discuss what the plan is and tell everyone what they're actually there for, because the rest of them don't actually know yet, right? They've got all these team members. We've got the probability gambling girl who's going to like help with stuff.
So I got caught up with this week because I hadn't read issue 2 yet, and it was driving me nuts. I couldn't figure out who she was.
Oh, really?
Because they never name her in that second issue.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and then so I racked my brain on Tuesday. I'm reading this. I'm reading issue 2, going through trying to find a character. And then if I had just waited a day for Wednesday, they introduce her almost immediately as Hazard, you know? So I did like that. And yeah, no, I love this is basically Ocean's 11 with superheroes. Like this, the back and forth between Jade and Barbara, right? It does feel like Danny and Rusty, and then just all the interpersonal stuff going on with these guys. I don't even really care about the heist. I just want to hang out with them as the plans get together.
I love how you said character names from Ocean's 11 like I know who they are. Like,
But
I don't know. I did see that first one and it was forgettable. I do not remember it.
Oh man, I love that movie. I watch that movie at least once a year. So,
so basic sometimes, Matt. So basic.
It's not basic. The movie is fantastic. What are you talking about?
Nah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, they get the team here. We also have the young girl, Alia, I think her name is. Don't call her Al. She hates that.
Hates it. Yeah. Featherweight, as she knows. So do you recognize her name? This is another thing I had to research.
I do not. She does kind of imply later on, though, that she's cousin to one of the Robins, and I'm not sure. I'm like, which one? Yeah. I don't know who you're talking about.
So her mom appeared in a book that we covered earlier. There's your hint, right?
What, today?
So,
okay.
In Batgirl, in fact, her mom is Nyssa Al Ghul.
Ah, so Damien's her cousin.
So Damien's her cousin. So I was like, Ratco, why do I know that? And that's also how I found out that Greg Rucka created Nyssa during his run on Batman that you're going through. Yeah.
Very interesting. Okay.
Including this character who, featherweight, she has all this strength and all this other, it adds another layer to the Al Ghul family line, right? That there's this off branch now and that she's Damien's cousin.
Wait, hold on. Wait, what? So why does this kid have superpowers?
I don't know.
Okay.
That's what I'm talking about.
Maybe we'll find out.
It adds this layer of, okay, so what did Nyssa do in order to give this kid powers? Because we know what Talia did with Damien, all that training to essentially become the next Roz, that he rejects to become, more of a Bat and more of a Wayne than an Al Ghul. So, yeah. And again, within a quick couple pages, I really enjoy this featherweight character.
Oh, yeah.
Like, she feels like a typical teenager, right?
I mean,
and over her head.
I think her and Shoes immediately like hitting it off and feeling like friends is kind of nice.
Yep.
I like some of the moments here where there's a moment where Shoes is told by Cheshire she's not going to be involved in the heist, and she's like, "Oh, this is so this is lame. This is embarrassing." And there's just this panel where like everyone else is just looking off because they don't want to be involved with this like mother-daughter fight. They're like, I'll just look over here. Like it's NICOLA SCOTT just being really smart with the art, and it's just it makes the character dynamics feel so good. It's very similar in a lot of ways to how much we like, say, Kelly Thompson's like work on teen books, or just good character dynamics is so strong here. So anyway, Cheetah and Cheshire explain the plan. They explain this power box, which is basically like, because of absolute power where all the powers got shuffled around, they somehow made a box that has backups of everyone's powers so they can give people their powers back if they ever get taken, which again feels like a risky move because, as they point out, everyone wants this thing now because Superman's powers are in there.
You're right. Governments will bankrupt themselves to get these.
Yes.
So yeah.
Yeah, and like they're like, hey, maybe we'll sell it to a government who will pay us untold amounts for it, or maybe we'll just rent out powers to people who pay us still pretty large amounts, but on an ongoing basis to have superpowers. So it's like, okay, this is fun. But they're doing all these explanations. There's a lot of 2-page layouts here as they're explaining the plan, and they're explaining the problems that the only way to get into the watchtower. Well, there's 2 ways. One is like of a sort of conventional spacecraft way with a docking bay because supply ships go up there, or maybe visitors who don't use the boom tubes, or the portals. The portals are for the League members only, and to get into them, you have to have a League membership card, and those cards are also keyed specifically to your character. So it's not so you can't just use like someone else's card; it won't work.
Yep. Yeah, so like not even Robins can use each other's because they're keyed into their biometrics.
Yes.
Right.
So it's like,
and stuff.
Yeah.
And then once you get there, there's at least a dozen superheroes
at any given time
walking around at any given time.
Yep. Plus they also have all these other things. They've got a door to the Phantom Zone. They've got Red Tornado's this AI running the entire place. So how do we get around him? Like they set up all the obstacles, and so it's like this is the part of the heist story where we're setting up what the mission has to overcome, and then they're like, wait, how do we even stand a chance at any of this? Then this is impossible. And like, well, there's some weak links. This thing had to be built, so there's maybe some weaknesses there that we can exploit of like people who built it, people who were involved. Turns out Ferris Air was involved in helping construct this thing, which makes sense.
I wonder why.
Yeah, it's almost like there's some connection between one of the League members and Ferris Air.
Weird.
So I like that detail, and it's like, hey, we're going to use that to maybe hack into the system so we can maybe like work around some of the tech side of stuff. So that's a good start. They also fly up resupplies of things, so maybe they're going to sneak onto one of those or something. So we've got that. We get a little quick mission of it's the Hazard and Cheshire going in to do the hacking, which I really like because they get to like the security gate and the guy has to like scan the card, and Hazard uses her powers to make it just give them a positive result. I'm like, okay, that's handy. And then back at the hotel or the villa that they're renting out with, like
the Airbnb.
Yeah, they're hanging out. There's a pool. There's a running thing here where Clary and Chloe has the hots for the new girl, and he's like, "Oh, I'm going to go talk to her." And the cat's like, "Oh, you don't have the balls to talk to her. You're a loser. I'm the brains of this operation." So digging that. He almost gets the courage to go talk to her, but gets called away by Cheetah to talk about something, and also feels a bit self-conscious because as he was walking up to him, because it's the 2 teenage girls are sitting chatting, and they're looking at something on their phone and they're giggling, and he's like, "Oh, what are you looking for?" And like, "Oh, nothing. We weren't looking at anything." And then they go back to looking at their phone and giggling, and I'm like, "Yeah, what are they looking at?" Like, what weird shit are they looking at that they don't want to tell Clarion about?
I also love that Clarion smooths down his hair, right? But by the end of the page, his little devil horns pop back up.
Yes,
at the end.
It's a nice little touch.
Poink. That was a lot of fun. And just Clarion, the self-conscious witch boy, right? Like he's cannot, can't get out of his own head.
Joe, what I like about this type of thing, this is something that Justice League Red's also kind of doing, although this is a better book than that, is that it's taking mostly a bunch of, and C-list even feels generous for some of these characters. Some of them are just brand new, right? Some are D-listers, like Hazard. She's not C-lister. She's like D-lister at best.
Yeah.
And it's making them all so likable that like they're all being elevated by being on this like book together, this team together. Like I love when like a team book can do this, where all of a sudden I'm liking Clarion a little bit. I never care about Clarion. He's just there.
Yeah. I love that, and I love that already the 2 teenage girls have hit it off, and just their colors are like opposite of each other, right? So Shoes is very much blues, kind of purple, like light purples. Featherweight has all the pinks and whatever, and they just like they're very complimentary, and that one is the daughter of an All Ghul, right? The other one's the daughter of Cheshire and Roy Harper, right? So they have a lot in common that they don't even realize it, and they've already hit it off.
That was
those little things.
That was one thing that Cheshire said earlier on is you can't be involved. Your father will find out, or your father won't be happy. That was like one of the little things she dropped. So yeah, they're like, hey, we need to find a newer member because there's so many of these heroes with these membership cards. We need to find a new one who we can fool, right? Someone, and I'm like, holy shit! I was not expecting Sideways to show up in a comic book in 2025. I was delighted by this little callback.
I love that RUCKA does his homework.
Yeah, because this is the thing.
Right.
Like, it's one thing for him to like bring up characters that he created, or like. Or like, you know, people who are connected to characters that he was involved with back when he was writing for DC in the 2000s or whatever. Sideways was a part of a era where he was like, I mean, his Wonder Woman run might have been still finishing off, but he was basically not a DC at that point. So it's just kind of interesting that he's using Sideways here as the young rookie member who can be tricked, who can be, you know, well, pickpocketed essentially is what happens to him.
Yeah,
because he's hiding around. Yeah, on you go.
Well, I was gonna say, wasn't the thing with Sideways as well that he was heavily into social media, too?
Yes, that was a big part of his gimmick. Was what was he called it? Something with Sideways. Stepping out with Sideways. That was it.
Stepping out, right? So the fact that, of course, they'll find this kid that's talking about his new Justice League card, right? Like, it just fits in with the character without doing any extra steps. Because if you're familiar with Sideways, like we are, from reading that book, this just feels true. You know, it's not just something he's throwing in there just to make the story work.
So yeah, they do a whole little thing here where the cat pretends to be in danger so that Sideways will do a little bit of heroics, and it's actually Shoes who comes up and pickpockets him, and like. You know, Ali is like, hey, your mom said you weren't going to be involved in this. Why were you on this? And she's like, she wasn't being serious. She's just saying that to pretend that she's a responsible parent. I'm going to be involved. Now, I'm not so sure that Cheshire actually feels that way, but somehow Shoes is going to end up in that watchtower. I guarantee it.
For sure.
She's going to stick out. In the same way that there's always somehow a kid in Jurassic Park movies, even though they should never bring children with them. Like that. That's, you know, Shoes is going to end up on that goddamn station, I guarantee it. Anyway, the big cliffhanger ending is that Clarion has snuck off to inform Black Adam and co, might I add, that, hey, you wanted information, the power bank is a thing, I can tell you about it. So yeah, we're bringing in like a rival villain team who are going to maybe compete, and that Clarion has maybe betrayed the team. And will he feel guilty about this? Because there's a chance that Alia does actually like him in return, but maybe she's not going to be pissed about this when she finds out that he's betrayed them. So a lot of potential here. Plus, obviously, Black Adam's just cool and exciting anyway.
Yes. Well, and again, maybe this is why he was so nervous with himself. Right? He can't get comfortable because he knew he's going to have to betray them, you know? So this crocodile girl, right? Does she look like the one that was at the end of Absolute Wonder Woman in Area 41? So now I have to figure out who this character is supposed to be.
It could be the regular version. I don't think it's the same one though. You know, I don't think it's the Absolute version.
No, I don't think it's the Absolute version either. But that Absolute version is based off of something, right? And that's who this one is. Well, so now I have to do some work.
I mean, this is Black Adam, Grundy, and I'm not sure.
Papa Midnight.
There you go. I couldn't remember his name. Yep. So this is this some version of the what's this team called? I'm sure.
What was?
I don't know. I feel I feel like this is a team, like not necessarily these four specific, but I feel like this is a sort of a classic team that I'm forgetting the name of. Not the Monster Society though. Like, is
no.
Maybe I'm just thinking that because of Black Adam.
Yes, that's what I think you are. If anything, it's more like an Injustice, right? Because you have Adam and then Solomon Grundy. It's like the Injustice Society.
Yeah, but they're all
whatever.
Yeah, but they're all like spooky, like other than Black Adam, I guess. But they're all like spooky characters. You know, you got the zombie, you've got like Papa Midnight, you got a monster and the croc face,
Croc Lady. You know. But yeah, so I just thought that her showing up after Absolute Wonder Woman, and we're like, oh, who's that crocodile person? And now there's another one here in this book. You know, so
yeah.
But no, this was so enjoyable.
I did not have NICOLA SCOTT drawing sideways on the bingo card for this week. I'll say that much. So no, I loved all the setup of the heist. I love the characters all getting more involved. It really does feel like an ensemble book, because issue 1 was very much just Cheetah and Cheshire, right? And that made sense. And I thought it was still going to be them two as the main two. But this issue really made it clear that no, we're doing stuff with all these characters. They're all getting a little bit of time to shine. They're all getting their own little plots, and they all feel like main parts of the team, which I really, really like. It's elevating everyone. What's not to love? And NICOLA SCOTT's art's just very, nice throughout. It's doing the facial reactions, which is helping all the character dynamics a lot. And yeah, this cliffhanger was an exciting wrench to throw in, because now you've got this other team that might end up getting in the way or trying to steal the bank from them at the last minute. All sorts of stuff going on there. Hard not to be very pleased with this. So
yeah.
Yeah. All right. What are you rating? Cheetah and Cheshire?
I'm gonna give this a 9. I'm throwing them out today.
Honestly, I'm inclined to agree. I love the issue.